13-year-old Lily fights to protect her dog Hagen, but is devastated when her father sets him free on the streets and sets out to find and save him. Welcome back to Movies Explained. Today's film is a drama thriller from 2014 titled, White God. Lily is playing with her dog named Hagen on an open field before her mother signals her that it is time to go home. Lily's mother is going on a trip for a few months and will be leaving Lily with her father, and on the way to the car, she responds that the trip will take a full day when Lily inquires about the duration of the flight. Lily's father Daniel is wearing a lab coat as he watches a cow being skinned and cut in half. After examining it, he declares the meat fit for human consumption. He heads to the bathroom to wash up but notices a blood stain on his shirt. He tries to wipe it off with a cloth but it doesn't fully come out. One of the workers at the slaughterhouse gives Daniel a package as a gift for Lily. Before leaving, Elsa tells Daniel that she will be gone for 3 months. Daniel begs Elsa not to leave Hagen with him, but she doesn't respond. Daniel gives Lily a bubble maker as a present, but Lily is no longer a child and asks for his access card instead. He gives it to her after telling her to spit out the gum she is chewing. As they enter his apartment, his neighbor reminds him that pets aren't allowed in the building. That night, Daniel makes dinner for himself and Lily. As they eat, he notices Lily feeding Hagen her food and reprimands her, warning her to only feed Hagen dog food. Lily isn't really hungry so she goes to bed. After dinner, Daniel separates the bed, asking Lily to choose which side she wants. He doesn't want the dog in the room so he locks Hagen in the bathroom. Hagen cries throughout the night, not allowing anyone to sleep. Daniel gets angry and Lily tells him that Hagen has never been alone before. She stays in the bathroom with Hagen, playing the trumpet to calm him down before falling asleep in the bathtub. The next morning, an official from animal control arrives and claims that Hagen has been reported by the neighbors. Daniel denies having a dog, but when the official spots Hagen, Daniel explains that the dog belongs to his ex-wife. The man tells Daniel that according to Hungarian law, there's a large fine for owning mixed-breed dogs and he must take Hagen to an animal shelter or pay the fine. Daniel agrees to take Hagen to the shelter. He tells Lily she needs to get dressed so he can take her to orchestra practice. Before leaving, Lily takes Hagen to the top of a hill, where they see a man training a dog. She promises Hagen that she will never do that to him. They arrive at orchestra practice and Lily hides Hagen in a room while they practice. When the music starts, Hagen runs out of the room and starts barking at the conductor. The conductor becomes angry and asks who owns the dog and Lily admits that Hagen belongs to her. He tells her to throw the dog out, but Lily decides to leave with him instead. He threatens not to let her come back if she leaves, but Lily leaves anyway. She walks down the street with Hagen following her until Daniel drives up and angrily throws Hagen and Lily into the car. Inside the car, Daniel and Lily argue over whether to keep the dog or take him to the shelter. Lily tells her father that she does not want him to take Hagen to the shelter as he yells at her. Daniel asks Lily if she prefers if he abandoned Hagen on the street or he takes him to the animal shelter. Lily doesn't agree with the animal shelter, so Daniel takes the dog and leaves him on the street. Hagen runs after the car as Lily watches in tears. Eventually, Hagen can't keep up and stops to watch as they drive off. Later that night, Lily wakes up and tries to get a piece of meat from the refrigerator and go looking for Hagen, but Daniel catches her and sends her back to bed. Hagen wanders around drinking dirty water and discovers a dead dog. During the day, he walks around the city and comes across a meat market. As he watches the butcher cut meat for customers, he notices another small dog in the distance and follows it. The dog leads Hagen to the back of the store, where he meets other dogs scavenging for food. All the dogs but Hagen flee when the meat vendor sees them. Hagen barks at the seller, who chases him into the shop and almost kills him, but the other dog distracts the owner and they both escape. The dog brings Hagen to a lot full of stray dogs playing in a pool of water. Animal control officials arrive at the junkyard and try to catch the dogs, but Hagen and his buddy evade them. The officers chase them, but Hagen and the dog manage to run away. A homeless man helps hide Hagen, only to trick him and bind his neck with a rope. Meanwhile, Daniel takes Lily to orchestra practice to apologize to the conductor, who forgives her and allows her to return back to class. After class, Lily starts searching for Hagen and posts missing posters around the city. That night, she goes to a party for the orchestra team and meets a boy named Peter. She asks him for a cigarette, but he refuses. Meanwhile, the homeless man sells Hagen to a dog dealer for 2,000 and a plate of food. Hagen is taken to a room with other dogs chained to poles. The next morning, a buyer chooses Hagen and pays the man 150,000 for him. He gives Hagen sleeping pills and takes him home. The man prepares Hagen's food and adds a mixture to it. As he feeds Hagen the food, Hagen becomes more aggressive. The man starts beating and intensely training Hagen. In the next orchestra class, the conductor complains about low attendance at the orchestra function and asks each student about it. When he gets to Lily, she replies rudely. He dismisses the class and asks Lily to stay behind. He has her play a melody repeatedly while he records it. The next morning, the new owner of Hagen gives him sleeping medicine and sharpens his teeth while he's asleep. When Hagen wakes up, the man puts a piece of meat on a board on the floor and covers it with a bowl. He releases Hagen, who starts nibbling on the meat. The man wears a hoodie and glasses and starts barking at Hagen, who barks back. Meanwhile, Lily goes to the dog shelter to look for Hagen and meets an old woman. When Lily shows her Hagen's picture and says he's been gone for weeks, the woman suggests that Hagen is either dead or lost. Lily doesn't believe her and accuses the woman of killing dogs at the shelter. She tries to explain that they don't kill dogs at the shelter, but Lily has already run away. Later that night, the man takes Hagen to a betting center for dogfights. He places 1,000 euros on Hagen, and the match begins. Hagen and the opponent's dog have a fierce battle, and after a lot of resistance from both sides, Hagen emerges as the winner by taking down the opponent's dog. After the match, a man approaches Hagen's owner and asks to purchase Hagen, but the owner refuses. While they argue, the lights go out and Hagen disappears. He gets on the highway and runs without stopping. Meanwhile, Lily is running home when she runs into Peter. She asks him to take her to the party he will be attending. Peter instructs her to hold on to his drugs until they get to the party. When they arrive at the party, Lily gets drunk and passes out on the floor. When the cops arrive at the party, they wake Lily up and discover the drugs Peter had given her in her pocket. She is detained, but passes a drug test, resulting in her release to Daniel. After her release, Daniel begins to cry and asks Lily what kind of dog she wants him to buy her. Lily is moved by this and tells him not to be worried. The following day, Lily wakes up to find Daniel smiling at her in the kitchen. He tells her he wants to stay at home and spend more time with her, but Lily thanks him and urges him to return to work, promising not to run away again. Hagen and the white dog eventually reunite at the puddles and make their way to the river, where they are apprehended by animal control. When they arrive at the shelter, the examiner notices Hagen's injuries and orders that he be kept apart from the others. The following day, while Lily prepares for her concert, people arrive at the shelter to make adoptions. When one of the girls takes an interest in Hagen and tries to stick her hand through his cage, Hagen bites her. Hagen is taken to a separate cell to be put down, but on the way there, he frees himself from the worker and bites his neck, killing him. In the process, he frees the other dogs, and they all flee to the city, destroying everything in their path. They eventually reach the city and begin attacking the residents. The dogs attack and destroy everything in their path, causing chaos throughout the city. They make their way to Lily's orchestra and run inside the building, barricading everyone inside. Lily believes Hagen is also around, so she leaves to find him. Peter tries to stop Lily from leaving, but she appears to have made up her mind to see Hagen, so he assists her in exiting the building. Peter apologizes for what happened at the party earlier and Lily forgives him as she departs. Lily is seen riding Peter's bicycle down the street when the dogs begin to approach her from behind. She loses control of her bicycle and crashes, but the dogs continue running. Later that night, Hagen kills the man who sold him to the dogfighter with the help of the other dogs. He also kills the butcher who tried to kill him earlier. Lily arrives at the horrific scene before the cops. The police attempt to detain her for questioning, but she manages to flee. She goes home and discovers that the landlady has also been killed. Seeing this, she believes she knows what Hagen is up to and rushes to Daniel. Hagen travels with his army to the butcher where Lily's father works, and when Lily arrives, they appear ready to get revenge on her. At first, Hagen growls at Lily, surrounded by his army. In an effort to defend his daughter, Daniel runs out of the building with a blowtorch. When the dogs seem unfazed, Lily plays Franz Liszt's Hungarian Rhapsody No. 2 on her trumpet. Hagen appears to have forgiven her and sits quietly to listen. The other dogs follow suit and lay down as well. Lily sits and keeps playing. Shortly after, she joins Hagen and lays down with him. Daniel drops his weapon and moves in to lie down next to his daughter. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe for more videos.